Hi everyone, my name is Natalia Romanova. I am brow artist. Today I'm going to tell you what products have to be in a starter kit of brow artist. So first of all, you'll need a makeup remover before brow dyeing. You can use a cleanser foam. It will perfectly suit a dry skin, especially in winter. You can also use a micellar water, for example, Be Special. Micellar water has a castor oil in its composition and it will be okay for washing off even long wear products. Not every micellar water can remove them. We have to cleanse the skin and hair. We will need a saline solution. It opens hair cells and therefore pigment penetrates hair structure better. Then after cleansing with saline solution, I recommend to use Lab of Beauty product that is usually being used before lamination, the cleanser with ethanol. It can be applied on client skin because it has special treatment components against overdrying of skin. Not every ethanol cleanser can be used in eyebrow zone because it makes skin too dry, which may lead to poor effect, to skin flaking and irritation and so on. Why do I use Lab of Beauty? Because saline solution leaves a slight salty spew on hair. We have zoomed hair in 5,000 times and the spew of salt has remained on hair. So cleanser will cover for you. You can use a white marking paste for eyebrow sketch. It is presented in jar, petrolatum based. It is quite thick, applies on skin well, and let us make a clear line. Psychologically, client perceives white color more positive than brown and black, but tastes differ. For example, I prefer paste. Further, for eyebrow shape, model will need a thread. You can use any thread. However, I recommend to use a special one because it is thin and it is 100% cotton. It does not cut skin nor leaves any scratches. Big spool is enough for a long time period. A cut-sided brush is very useful for sketch drawing. It is a special brush called brow henna, though it can be used for tint and henna, but I prefer to use it for sketching because it is wide, thin, and the cut is smooth. An additional instrument for sketching may be the ruler. It does not guarantee that eyebrows will be symmetric because people's face is asymmetric itself, but the ruler will help you from time to time. It will give you answers and will let you to be more accurate. Not just measure by eye, but to measure by ruler. I recommend to measure isolated pieces, not the whole eyebrow, but small pieces of it. So now we are going to start. One of the most important part of process, color match and choosing. I suggest you not to save your time during the stage because it will reflect on retention and drying result, the shade and color depth. So technically it reflects upon everything. At first, I recommend you to get Reflector Seal tint. It has a nice color palette, it has some pure colors, blue and red. There is no yellow color only. Yet, all shades are perfectly mixing with each other. As a result, the unique individual formulas for every client. There are shades for blondes and brown-haired as well as for brunettes. I recommend to get 4 main colors. The first is in graphite. It is not fundamental but very important. It gives cold and gray shade and will suit most of Nordic girls. There are cold blondes, brown-haired and brunettes. I also recommend you to get the light brown shade. It is very commonly used for light-haired girls. It can be also used for brunettes and brown-haired girls. The next required color is natural brown. It makes the brown color deep. I recommend it to mix with other shades, for example, light brown and graphite. I explain such things as mixing of shades at my training programs. Natural brown is a very important color, especially for brunettes and brown-haired. One of the most interesting colors is red. It is very deep color. It doesn't used by its own. Not sure red eyebrows will suit someone at all, but it's being used as corrector color. It neutralizes green color. There is a green shade in dark brown, which is often being used for brown hair to create a nice chocolate color. That's why red shade is important to be gotten. You will need an oxide to make a chemical reaction. It is 3% oxide in a bottle. We use 3% oxide for eyebrows. This is the most optimal percentage. It colors hair in exact tone or one tone darker. Reflectosil has a little bit different oxidant. That one is creamy. This one is liquid. It must be mixed 1:1 with tint, and then you apply this mixture on eyebrows. After wash off of tint with water, for example, we must stop a chemical reaction with a special product. It is called remover, and it is very important. I recommend not to ignore it, so make sure it's in your starter kit. Speaking of henna dye, if you prefer henna instead of tint, then you can use henna, but I recommend to have them both in your kit. Because for some clients, tint is the best decision, for others, henna. I suggest you to have henna in any case. Which colors? First of all, the ones for blondes. Classic blonde and golden blonde, these are cold and warm colors. They perfectly mixes together and separately. For brunettes and brown-haired, the light brown. The color is a bit darker than classic blonde and golden blonde, and classic brown is a classic shade for brown color. I'd say it's neutral. It suits both warm and cold brown-haired. So that's why a classic brown is universal color. You will need a glass and brush for dye solution, and for application it on hair and skin. I suggest you to have a two-sided brush of Henna Expert. It is very thin and it has good thick bristles. They stick very close to each other. The main benefit of this brush is that you apply the tint with one side on eyebrows and remove the rest with other side, which means you won't need cotton buds or micro brushes, and it saves your consumables. A good brush for tint application is Brow Multi by Be Special. It is also two-sided, though it has a wand from one side, so you can brush and style eyebrows with it right after tinting. I'm not talking about long-lasting styling, but about simple styling of hair. After eyebrow tinting, we start the next stage, eyebrow correction. While you're a beginner, I suggest you to use a tweezer, and they can vary. I will tell you more about it. We have Be Special and Henna Expert tweezers. Be Special has a few types of tweezers with different closeness. You will need at least 2 tweezers for work, one with soft tightness and the second one is tighter. This tweezer is perfect for coarse hair. The tweezer with soft closeness will be fine for soft hair and peach fuzz. There is also Henna Expert tweezer. Its closeness is more universal. It will suit both soft and coarse hair. There is also a unique Be Special tweezer with rounded tips and grip, so there are no sharp angles and it will be used for soft hair of average density. It is more universal because it does not injure skin during the eyebrow modeling process. It is much better for beginners than, for example, the one with sharpened tips. But it's not necessary. Try different tweezers. You must have many of them. Chlorhexidine must be used during the correction procedure to soothe the skin and to stop the slight bleeding that might happen during the removal procedure. It can be any antibacterial remedy. It's up to your choice. And of course, the final stage after tinting and correction of eyebrows is a slight makeup. I recommend to make a simple gel styling. It is likely you may use some pencils or liners for drawing hairs in spots where they don't grow. Gel is a must-have in your kit. It's a very universal product that girls use every day for eyebrow styling. This is Crystal by Be Special. It has a small wand that brushes eyebrow zone very well. It has a thick texture after drying. That's why the styling will last for the whole day. It has very good reviews. In your kit, you will also need cotton pads and tint for makeup removal and skin cleaning. And perhaps for cleansing, you might need micro brushes. They are being used for tint application in some small zones for sketch correction. If you make a shape with paste and you need to improve something or you accidentally cross the edges, you can fix everything with a micro brush. You will also need some antibacterial spray with ethanol for hands disinfection. Spray your hands with it before procedure and then put on gloves. Today I have told you about Starter Kit products list. This kit will cost you about $150. So let's repeat once again. What products will you need for work? Skin antiseptic spray, micellar water, cleansing foam, ethanol cleanser, saline water, thread, marking paste, a brush for sketch creating, tint, oxidant, tint remover, few colors of henna, a glass for tint dilution, a brush for tint and henna application, tweezers for eyebrows correction, cotton buds and pads, and gel for eyebrow styling. That's all. If you have any questions, please write it in comments to the video. It was Natalia Romanova. See you later.